thing. And now we're going to go see Turkey and Daniel and get some tires put on. Yep. Just driving it. It drives so good.
It does.
We're just plugging right along. She is 180 degrees. All right, we are leaving Premier Wheel and Tire. We got some taller tires on this sucker. We're headed back to Candler. Yeah, we was driving along, coming around the curves, and this dude in a work van literally shot straight out in front of her. And she done fantastic. She jumped on the brakes and put it over on the side and was able to get around the idiot. Yeah.
I cut into the road that he pulled out of.
Yeah.
To keep from hitting him.
She didn't lose her cool. She was good. Fantastic. But
now.
Yeah, dude literally almost tore up this whole car.
Yeah, I got plowed.
Second time out.
Yeah, I got plowed right into the side of that van. If I wouldn't have been paying attention, that's exactly what would have happened.
Sure. Yeah.
We missed you today, Turkey. I come to see you and show you my car, and you wasn't there. Because I forgot you don't go to work on Fridays.
Yeah, I forgot too. But huge shout out to Daniel for swapping the tires out for us and all that stuff. That was awesome of you.
Yep, if y'all ever need any tire work done and you live in Asheville, Premier Wheel and Tire on Leicester Highway, go see him.
Good people. You can meet Turk and his boy Daniel.
Good family-owned business.
He's got two. His little boy runs around there all the time. Super cool youngin. I mean, he's country as a biscuit. It's fantastic to see a good kid being raised the right way and not like a little or whatever else. He's a boy.
It's cool seeing a little boy outside playing in the dirt instead of on his tablet or playing a video game or something. Like, he's a cool kid. They're a good family.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna get this rig to the house, and it's like freaking 90 something degrees, and it is hot, and she's only 180 degrees. So that's good. Oil pressure's good. Everything's good. And I think I might do 273 gears or a 308 gear in this. Get rid of the 342s and make them even more drivable. But I don't know if that'll make the converter happy. It'll probably make the converter looser, and we don't want that. So I don't know. Have to study on it. I just want to show everybody this right here. Well, first thing, I have lights now. Check it out. And we got one down there. I got this little doodad here and whatnot. Hopefully it still works. Yeah. Because I ain't got no lights in here in the dark. I mean, I probably could put a dome light in it, but why would I do that? It's ridiculous. And I'll show you something on the back too. Something that Casey got me, which is cool. Casey's always buying me the randomest stuff. But like, check this out. The Macho Man, cream of the crop. There's an old interview. We always got a kick out of Macho Man because dude's personality was just crazy. And me and Dad always used to say, there was this like Spider-Man movie, and they had Macho Man in the Spider-Man movie. You know, me and Dad would always be like, I'm looking around and you're going nowhere. But anyway, so we always said that, and then we started watching some old interviews and stuff for the Macho Man. And then me and Casey come across this one. He's got this little cream. It's this exact scene right here. Google it. Look it up on the YouTube. Macho Man, cream of the crop. It's pretty hilarious. He's like, I'm telling you, Mean Gene, I'm the cream of the crop. And the cream always rises to the top. I'm the cream of the crop. Oh, but yeah, so Casey got me that to put in the car. I mean, it smells nice, whatever else, to make my car doesn't stink. But he just thought that was cool. He's always, like I said, he's always getting cool random stuff. Like he got me that Christine sticker back here. And then the badge on the back of the car, he got me, it says Shit Box Edition, which is hilarious. So it's pretty cool. He's always getting random stuff. He just likes to buy just whatever, little knickknacks and whatnot. And I keep putting them in my car. It's like these chickens out. It says, look, do touch. Look, please do touch. Because everybody's like, puts them stickers on, look, please don't touch. I'm like, look, please do touch. But yeah, so I'll show you this back here. The way I mounted it, it was it did have its metal, but it had a sticky back, like a double-sided tape. That wasn't gonna cut it for me. I can't double-sided tape nothing on my car. It won't stay, especially when they sit outside and you race them and all that good stuff. So check it out. It's I put studs to it, run it through back there, so she's mounted big time. Yeah, might be a little crooked, but whatever, straight enough. All right, I don't know, a lot of people who used to watch all the old videos would realize this, because anytime I swap an engine, this thing comes off and literally it's about 4 or 5 minutes. But I'm fixing to do a crank trigger stuff on the 74, and it was just easier to get everything out of my way. All right, I've got everything lined up as best I can. Alternator belt will go right here. This is spaced out. I got that there. Just got to move it up, make sure it's perfectly in sync, make sure the distributor is phased perfectly. Then get me a cord. Busted out my light. I called Dad on the phone. It's like, you using your headlamp? And I'm like, no, I am. And it worked great. All right, everything is back together. Spun over, fired first rotation. So good. I'd fire it back up, but it's like 10:30 or 11. So just gonna pick this stuff up and have Carla come back out here if she ain't asleep yet. If she is asleep, she can wake up. She can come out here and help me stick a front end back on. All right, I threw the Nova up on the lift. But anyway, deleted my dump valve. That's right there because I don't need the dump valve with the loose converter. Taking the 2400 out and putting in my 4000 because we're going racing. I was going to put 373 gears in it. I'm like, why do that when I can just put a loose converter in it, leave with whatever boost I want, and that should help the 60 foots because the thing was just laboring with the tight converter. So I'm gonna let the engine do what it wants to do. Turn my shift points up to 7 grand and let her go. All right, about 30 minutes later, everything's back together. I'm gonna call it right there and button her up in the morning. Go get me something to eat. I'm starving. There she is. Converter swapped. I gotta get bigger converter bolts. That's something I do have to do. So I might have someone laying around here somewhere. All right, cool. All right, it's all back together. Just gotta put the fluid in it. I don't think I've showed anybody these yet. I put these little poppers in instead of Zeus fasteners. I'll show you that in just a second. Throw that in there. See, I got poppers on the hood. And I put them on my front end, and I put springs underneath. See, springs up. I originally had these small ones right here, and then I got these bigger ones for it. See, now I can grab it like that without having to do the hood pins. And because I got springs on it, it springs itself up, and I can just tilt it forward pretty easily. I just done that in case, you know, something happened and people had to pop the front end up quick or something like that. Also, I put the electric fan back on. This is a different electric fan, and it's got a controller, adjustable temperature controller right here that I can adjust. And the other day I let this thing sit and run idle for like 35 minutes. It was like probably 91 degrees out, and it got up to 150 degrees. 150, and dropped back down to 140, and then it got back up to 150 and dropped back to 140. So hopefully that works, because the mechanical fan, I love a mechanical fan. It was just too close to everything. So let me put some trans fluid in this and start it up and see what's going on. There it is. Also put a crank trigger on it just to make things more accurate as far as timing. All right, so what I've done is change converters. I'm gonna see if I can go to 3,900 or 4,000 RPM and leave. I want to see how much boost pressure that builds. At that given, it's probably gonna build a lot. It ought to build at least 10 pounds, because I was able to get 7 or 8 on 3,000 RPM But that other converter was a 2400, so it would go to 2400, and then it would, as it's building torque, it would loosen itself up enough to go to 3000. All right, let's two-step test. So we'll see if this one will do 3900. Just went and got some fuel. I'm trying to make everything perfectly aligned because of my crank trigger. As soon as this thing gets to 6,500 RPM, it will throw the belt. So, another rocker ball that goes underneath the rocker arm. That's what they are. It's the perfect distance. So, and it still allowed this to be centered. That's what I'm having to do. Make it work. I had to make a bolt because the bolt, after spacing everything out on the alternator, the bolt that come with this little alternator kit is too short. It needed to be about a 1/4 inch longer, so I made it 1/2 inch longer. I took 2 bolts, cut them apart. You can see this and this is 2 different bolts. I stuck it in this, used the cutting wheel, spun it, cut it with a cutting wheel, then squared everything up, cut both of them like that with a cutting wheel, and squared everything up in a little vise, tacked it, then welded it around, and then I took it, stuck it back in the drill, spun it around. As it spun, I ground the weld off to make it to where it would slide in there. So that's how you make bolts. Is it the right way? Don't know, but that's how I do it. But it is pretty freaking straight. So that's pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna start this thing before I put the turbo and crap back on it. So everybody want to hear what my car sounds like with open headers? But look at my alignment now. My alignment is pretty much perfect. Well, as perfect as I can get it. And I just rolled the alternator belt on, spun it over with my little push button, made that work. But we could hear what this thing sounds like with open headers. I ain't never heard this motor with open headers. Let's see what she sounds like. Should be interesting to say the least. right, well, I figured since I had everything off, I might as well put my big turbo back on, the S480, since we going racing. Put the fat girl back on it, my Roseanne Connor, because it's fat and loud. Like Roseanne. Oh, anyway. Yep, put the big one back on. That is a 4.5-inch exhaust. That's how much bigger it is. This one looks so little now. Well, that one support 800 horsepower. This one will support 1400. So we're going to see if it will build any boost with the new converter on the trans brake. It should build boost. I just am curious how much it builds and how fast it builds it. This thing will build like 8 or 9 pounds at 3,900 in a couple seconds. We in business. Because before it would only do like 4, and it took like, I think 4.2 seconds to do 4 or 5 pounds. That's why I took it off, because it wasn't as responsive. But we're gonna see. We just backed her up and tested it, and it built 5 pounds in like that. It was probably 1 or 2 seconds versus 4.5 or 5 seconds with the other converter. And I can probably go in there and change the 2-step to 4,000 or 4,100, and I guarantee it would go there, and I could build more boost if I want to and leave harder. But that leaving on 5 pounds, it felt good. Playing at the tires, nice little black patch. Not bad at all. My belt stayed on, so spacing everything out worked. Fans come on, kept her about 160 degrees, which it got up to 180, and then the fans brought her down to 160. So that was good. Everything seems good. Yeah, went over to Bones's and changed his valve spring stuff for him, so he's gonna bring his red car hopefully. But all in all, it's pretty good. I would take it up a road, but I don't really see any point in it. I just wanted to see where it built boost and how quick it built boost with the looser converter. And like I said, I know I could probably take that thing to $4 grand and leave it 4. But Colton in the S10 with the 406 will leave at 5 pounds. And as soon as he got out, as soon as he let go of the button, it went to the 10 and then the 14. The max boost we ever run on that thing was like 15 pounds, 15 or 16 pounds. And it was in the 5s in the 8th mile. So we'll see what she does. Suspension seems to be working pretty good. All right, well, the 57 is all set and good to go. She's loaded up. So we brought the Nova in here and put some nitrous on it with the S480 and the loose race converter. We're gonna I think we'll put a 100 shot on it. Just to help her get on the brake, and I'm gonna put it on the steering wheel like a little scramble button. So I can be like above 5,000 RPM and be like, yep, yep. And that will super cool the inlet temps even more. Probably put ice on the carburetor. I was gonna mount it in the turbo right here and spray it and let it mix throughout the whole system, but I already had a port right there in that hat, and that's just gonna push all in there, so it should be good. And that way, if I want to swap turbos, the hat always stays the same, so it should work good. But Dad's got nitrous stuff like you wouldn't believe. So he's digging through his stash. But I'm gonna put it on I got one of them switches Dad got me. I'm gonna put it on the steering wheel. And when I go get on the trans brake, I'm gonna reach up and hit the button and just psh, psh.
NOS scramble.
Yeah.
Scramble.
Yeah, it's basically to spool so that if I do put the tight converter back in or whatever else, I can open the dump valve and I can hit the nitrous and spool it quick. Or have it up there for an extra 100 on top when I'm up, like when I go from second to third, I can hit that button, just psh, see what happens. Just a little something, something on top. That's getting in the truck. Right up your balls. Look, you bounce. All right, well, we got the nitrous stuff on. Went to a plate instead of the nozzle because a plate's gonna have better distribution. It's probably gonna work better all the way around. So that's what we went to. Everything seems all right now. I had to get rid of my super sucker spacer, so it's just a nitrous plate and then my carburetor. So this might work better. I don't know. The super sucker felt good as far as low RPM stuff. But yeah, I've got it armed and everything. I've got a toggle that comes on and arms it, and I had to grind through and weld a washer to mount this so that I can hit the button. Let's see what happens. Take it down there and see. It sounds fine though, it's supposed to help. Actually, yeah, I started saying, walk down there and I'll take off with it coming up the hill. momentum being reduced, it's got more torque down low. It went to 10 pounds right there with no nitrous at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.